Yes. How do you pronounce it? As a spouse. Okay, thank you. Okay, and how many years have you been in business?
3.5 years.
Okay, previous job?
I worked at a horse ranch. I was a DJ, not the cool ones like that, but just I put CDs in. Worked at a restaurant, and I worked most of my life with my dad's company selling pest control products.
Fantastic. Is there a spouse?
There is one. Yes, I am married.
Okay, and her name?
Kelly.
Kelly. Children?
3 kids, all boys.
Okay.
Yes.
And,
Ages 5, 7, and 9.
okay. And their name?
Ryan, Tristan, and Ethan.
Do you have any pets?
Yes, I have 1 dog, 2 cats, and as I said, 3 children.
Hobbies and interests?
Oh, wow. Taking my sons to music, especially piano, taking my sons to baseball, taking my sons to basketball, helping my sons with homework, and then once in a blue moon, I meet Mike Shackle for cigars.
Okay.
Yeah.
City of residence?
Homer Glen.
And how long have you lived in Homer Glen?
Right now about 6 years, but then before that, I lived there for maybe 16 years.
Okay.
Yeah.
Your burning desire?
My burning desire, geez. I'm so busy, I don't know which one's my desire. Just to have a very, very successful company with an excellent reputation and to raise my kids to be wonderful people.
Something nobody knows about you?
Well, there's 2 things I can think of. One is in college, I was president of the marketing club. That was fun. And the other thing I think only Mike knows, if you go on Bell Road, there's a church called St. Bernard's. And right when you look, there's a big hill with a cross on top. And my Eagle project was to erect that cross.
The key to your success?
To always do the right thing for my customers. And that was difficult at the beginning of the business because sometimes you have to go back for free or give a discount or something like that. But in the long run, that creates the most stable business.
Very good. Okay, the key to your success?
Didn't I just say that?
Yes.
It was a test, right? It was a
Guys,
test.
now, the question of the mystery question. You go to a restaurant
Yes.
and they give you a fruit cup.
Yes.
Will you pull out and eliminate any of the fruit?
No.
Chuck, thank you.
All right, guys. So as you know, Chuck with Valor Pest Management. I don't know why, but I'm really nervous to be up here today. So I started my company 3.5 years ago, and I didn't really choose pest management. It sort of chose me. My dad, did a little bit of exterminating before I was born, and then when my mom told him that they were going to have me, he decided he needed to make more money because kids are really expensive. He opened up his own store where he sold pest management products to the exterminators, and then also set up training for them. So I grew up in the store, well, not in the store growing up, but as you know, Saturdays during the summer, times like that, I was always in the store, and I started working when I was about 4 or 5 years old, stocking the shelves, making $1 an hour. Don't, call the child labor people. But it sort of taught me a good work ethic. It also taught me that I could work for being underpaid, so I had to adjust that later on. But I did that my entire life. On Saturdays when I was growing up in high school, I was out doing that, listening to, and we would have people come in to train. I was listening to entomologists and to chemists about how the insects act and about how the chemicals are made, the differences between the organophosphites, which came off the market a long time ago, DDT, all that fun stuff, how it can be useful, and then how it can be harmful and the right way to use everything. So I learned all of that stuff, and after I graduated in 2007 from college, the whole economy just took a big dive, which was great because I was able to get everything in before that. I was able to buy my house in '07, So that way I was able to get that at the top of the bubble. That was nice. If I would have waited a year, my house would have been valued way, way less. So I wanted to buy it when it was, showed it was a good value. I graduated in 2007, so right when all the doors were going to be open, they all slammed shut. I actually went to job fairs where people said we're not hiring. So that was challenging. Yeah, it's true. I said, why are you here? They're like, we need to save our spot for next year. But maybe we are. I said, well, what's that say for me? And they say, tough luck. So that was a challenging opportunity for personal growth. I ended up getting a job at a bank that I hated so much. I can tell you that I worked there for 4 years, 1 month, and 2 days before they said that I was no longer required. Yeah, when I went in there, they were expanding very, very quickly. So I was out there marketing, bringing people in. And when they decided they weren't going to be growing anymore, they were just going to, settle, they thought they'd be generous and offer my salary to 2 people. So that way they were able to have, 2 for the price of 1. So that was wonderful. All these things that gave me warm, fuzzy feelings. At that time, we were in North Carolina. We went down there for a little adventure in 2007, and then we got the adventure, came home crying, and went to work for my dad again, where I learned even more. And at that point in time, we started doing recertification seminars for the exterminators, so that way they can get their hours for the Illinois Department of Public Health. I'm trying not to get too technical, but I'm sort of doing that. And I just learned more and more and more, and I realized that, we're on one side of the counter teaching and selling, and on the other side of the counter were the actual technicians who were making about twice what I was making. So I thought, something doesn't feel right, where I know more than they do, but they're making more than I do. So I decided to start my own company. I worked both companies for about 6 months, so that way everything I made I put into my company, and then I was able to just flourish, and referrals started coming in, and it was wonderful. So that's where I am today, killing ants, killing rodents, and all that fun stuff. Normally, we get asked what our least favorite part of the job is. I was looking forward to that question. Because I've got a lot of great parts of the job, but there's a few that are really not a great time. My second favorite thing would be driving everywhere. But my first least favorite thing is when I go in and they say there's a weird smell, and I get to go and pick up a rodent that's been dead for approximately a week and dispose of that. And sometimes it's a little bit gross, but sometimes it's not. Sometimes you pick it up by the tail and it's like holding a sucker or something, and you just, you can pose with that too. It's it looks like a frog. So that's always a wonderful time. That's always a wonderful time. Yeah. But the nice thing about me going to do it is the absolute worst I ever had, it was behind a stove. It was about this big plus the tail. It was really disgusting, a little bit gooey, stuck to the floor. But some people were vomiting in front. But when I went there, no matter how disgusting it was for me, that was, anytime that happens, I'm always thinking I should have went into accounting. They don't do this in accounting. But in this situation where it's the very worst I've ever done it, the customer was a woman with like a 6-month-old baby, and she was also like 6 months pregnant. And I wanted to get that out of the house. And I actually went a few extra steps and asked her for some cleaning supplies, and I cleaned everything up because I didn't want any bacteria there. Yeah, so that's one nice thing. No matter how gross the stuff is that I'm doing, number one, I get paid for it. Number two, I'm doing it so that other people don't have to. And sometimes it's a situation like that where it's a pregnant lady and you're really doing it, out of the bottom of your heart. And sometimes they're just really rich yuppie people, and I get to charge more for that. That's wonderful. That's wonderful. But one really nice thing about my job that keeps me in good shape, I'm always carrying equipment around, so I've got some good upper body strength. And then once in a while in the summertime, when people have rodents or something up in the attic, I have the opportunity to go up there, like crawling from beam to beam. It's sort of like, you know, a game of Twister, where you're like trying not to miss something, but at the same time, it's about 110 degrees up there. So I'm sweating, and as I'm like moving and trying to get my leg and bringing the equipment, it's sort of like one of those hot yoga things. You have to pay like $50 a session, and I get to do it for free. So that's wonderful. And I'm always afraid, because if you accidentally slip, which I learned when you're up there, you don't want to have the hard knee pads, you want to have the soft ones, because the hard ones will slip right off of the beams, and then it's really scary. And either you'll throw your back out, then you need laser, which that's a good referral, or you actually put your foot through the drywall, in which case Wausau comes out and fixes it. So that's another. And if I fall through and land on my head or something, well, then I get to use the stuff I bought from Mike Shack. So there's a lot of different ways I can refer things out to people. So that's really fun and exciting. But yeah, for the most part, I love my business. I can't wait till I can grow and have a few more people working with me, so that way I can pick and choose the jobs I want. Sort of like how Rob, he doesn't have to clean out toilets anymore, he has people for that. He can just do his fun jobs. And that's what I'm looking forward to, just talking with people, having a great time, and having some other people pick up the rat suckers. So that's it. Chuck with Valor Pest Management.